Welcome back. We're diving into a topic that is often overlooked but incredibly important: vulnerability in the workplace. When we think about vulnerability, we often associate it with weakness or fragility. Yet, in reality, displaying vulnerability can be a powerful tool to foster deeper connections, build trust, and create a more positive work environment. It's all about showing up authentically, acknowledging our limitations, and being open to learning and growth. Today, we're going to explore this concept further and share with you the top 5 ways to show vulnerability in your professional life. From asking for help when overwhelmed to normalizing mistakes, from showing up as more than your work title to participating in difficult conversations and being honest about what you know and don't know, there's a lot to cover. So, without further ado, let's delve into the top 5 ways to show vulnerability in the workplace. First off, don't be afraid to ask for help when you're feeling overwhelmed. Yes, you heard that right. In the realm of the professional world, asking for help is often seen as a sign of weakness. But let's debunk this myth right now. It's not. It's actually a sign of strength, courage, and most importantly, vulnerability. When you're feeling overwhelmed, it means you're pushing your limits, stepping out of your comfort zone, and that's where growth happens. But sometimes the pressure can get a touch too much, and it's in these moments that asking for help becomes essential. It's not an admission of defeat, but rather a strategic move to overcome challenges more effectively. You see, asking for help is a two-way street. On one hand, it allows you to tap into the collective wisdom of your team, to gain new insights that can help you navigate through your difficulties. On the other, it gives others the opportunity to share their knowledge and expertise, fostering an environment of mutual respect and cooperation. Moreover, asking for help is a powerful learning tool. It's a declaration that you are ready and willing to learn, to expand your skill set, and embrace new ideas. It's a demonstration of your commitment to personal growth and continuous improvement. But there's another layer to this. By asking for help, you're also building stronger, more authentic relationships with your colleagues. You're showing them that you trust their abilities and value their input. This can lead to a more collaborative and supportive work environment, where everyone feels valued and heard. And let's not forget, opening up about your struggles can also encourage others to do the same, creating a culture of openness and mutual support. It sends a clear message. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to find things challenging. We're all human after all. So the next time you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, remember this. It's okay to ask for help. In fact, it's more than okay. It's a sign of strength, a demonstration of your willingness to learn and grow. Remember, it's better to seek assistance than to suffer in silence. Secondly, mistakes happen to everyone, and it's important to normalize them. You see, in the pursuit of perfection, we often fear making mistakes. But the truth is, mistakes are not just inevitable, they're necessary. They are the stepping stones to learning, innovation, and growth. Let's pause for a moment and think about it. Picture a world where mistakes are not feared but embraced as opportunities for learning. Wouldn't that be a game changer? It would create an environment where people are not afraid to push boundaries, to experiment, and to innovate. And that's exactly the kind of culture we need to foster in our workplaces. When we normalize mistakes, we're not just saying it's okay to mess up. We're saying it's okay to take risks, to venture into the unknown, to try and fail, and then to try again. It's about creating a safe space where everyone feels comfortable acknowledging their errors, learning from them, and moving forward. Acknowledging our mistakes openly shows vulnerability. It shows that we're humans, not infallible machines. And that, my friends, is a strength, not a weakness. It shows a willingness to learn, to grow, and to improve. It fosters a culture of transparency and trust, where everyone feels valued and heard. But remember, normalizing mistakes doesn't mean ignoring them or not holding people accountable. It means recognizing that errors are part of the process, encouraging people to own up to them, and then collectively finding ways to learn and improve. It's about shifting the focus from blame to understanding, from punishment to development. Instead of asking who made this mistake, we should be asking what can we learn from this mistake? That's the kind of mindset that drives progress and innovation. So the next time you make a mistake, instead of hiding it or feeling ashamed, acknowledge it. Share what you've learned from it. Show your vulnerability. By doing so, you'll be contributing to a culture of growth and learning. Embrace the learning process and don't be afraid to make errors along the way. After all, as the old saying goes, the person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. So let's normalize mistakes, let's learn from them, and let's grow together. Your job title does not define you as a person. Words to live by, wouldn't you agree? Now let's talk about how showing up as more than just your work title can actually make you more vulnerable, yet stronger in your professional life. In the world of work, it's easy to get caught up in our job titles. We become the manager, the developer, the designer, or the executive. But we are so much more than these labels, aren't we? We are individuals with unique interests, hobbies, and experiences that go beyond the confines of our job descriptions. Imagine for a moment a workplace where everyone knows each other not just by their official titles, but also as the passionate cook, the weekend hiker, the amateur photographer, or the devoted parent. Doesn't that sound like a more vibrant, connected, and inclusive environment to be a part of? Sharing these personal aspects of ourselves can feel vulnerable. It's like opening up a little window into our private lives. But that vulnerability is what allows us to form stronger, more authentic connections with our colleagues. It helps us see each other not just as cogs in a machine, but as human beings. This doesn't mean you have to spill your deepest secrets at the water cooler. It's about finding a balance, sharing parts of your life that you're comfortable with, and that might spark a connection with someone else. It might be as simple as talking about the book you're currently reading, the hobby you're into, or the place you visited over the weekend. Now imagine the ripple effect this could have. As more and more people start showing up as their full selves, the workplace culture begins to shift. It becomes a place where people feel seen, respected, and valued for who they are, not just what they do. It fosters a sense of belonging, which can greatly contribute to everyone's well-being and job satisfaction. So, the next time you clock in, remember, you're not just your job title. You're a multifaceted individual with unique experiences and interests. Don't be afraid to share a bit of that with your colleagues. Building personal connections beyond work-related tasks can create a more supportive and inclusive work environment. Difficult conversations are a part of professional life. We've all been there, haven't we? The tension in the air, the nervous glances, the lump in the throat. It's not a fun place to be, but it's an inevitable part of our journey as professionals. Now you might be wondering, how does vulnerability fit into this scenario? Well, let's dive into that. Showing vulnerability during difficult conversations can be as simple as admitting that the conversation is hard for you too. This act of honesty can instantly diffuse tension and foster an environment of mutual respect. When we allow ourselves to be seen in our discomfort, we encourage others to do the same, and this is where the magic happens. This shared vulnerability can pave the way for greater understanding and resolution. It's like switching on a light in a dark room. Suddenly we can see each other more clearly and navigate our way towards a solution together. But remember, showing vulnerability isn't just about expressing your feelings. It's also about making space for others to share theirs. This is where empathy and active listening come in. By truly hearing and understanding the other person's perspective, we can find a middle ground and work towards a resolution that respects everyone's needs. In conclusion, difficult conversations are just that, difficult. But when we approach these conversations with empathy, active listening, and a willingness to share our thoughts and feelings openly, we can turn them into opportunities for growth and deeper connections. So the next time you find yourself in a difficult conversation, remember to embrace vulnerability. It might just be the key to turning a challenging situation into a constructive one. Honesty is key in the workplace, especially when it comes to your knowledge and expertise. Now let's talk about this. In any field, it's practically impossible to know everything, and that's okay. Pretending to know it all creates a facade that can crumble at any moment. Instead, admitting that you don't have all the answers demonstrates vulnerability, humility, and a willingness to learn. Consider this scenario. You're in a meeting and a question is directed at you. You're unsure of the answer. Instead of bluffing, you could say, "I don't have that information right now, but I'll find out and get back to you." This approach not only shows your honesty, but also your commitment to finding solutions. Moreover, when you're open about what you don't know, you create room for others to step in with their expertise, fostering a collaborative environment. And remember, It's in collaboration where true growth occurs. Showing vulnerability by being honest about your limitations can lead to collaborative problem solving and growth. There you have it, the top 5 ways to show vulnerability in the workplace. We've explored asking for help when overwhelmed, normalizing mistakes, showing up as more than your job title, participating in difficult conversations, and being honest about your knowledge. Remember, it's a strength to show vulnerability. It fosters deeper connections, encourages growth, and positively impacts your work environment. Thanks for watching, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.